Let's go. All right. Welcome back to the Project Zero Rishiv with another video podcast. Okay, three main things before we begin the video, of course. Drop in the comments over on YouTube or on Reddit or Discord. Either way, go into Discord. Actually, pop in on Discord, and it's links on the channel. Or pop in over on YouTube and just say three things. Highlight. What's the main highlight of your day? What's been going on. Don't reveal too much private stuff. Just generally, what's the main highlight? You moved out. You got a new job. You got promotion. You did something really nice to celebrate birthday with your husband or your wife or your kids, whatever. Second, what is the main frustration, if you had any? If you haven't, perfect, just leave it as it is. Again, don't divulge too much, but invent a little bit here. And then a third is what is relevant to hear that has happened in your life recently. So we're talking about groceries here, purchases, so you can kind of be a little bit more generalized and talk about any major purchases you made or small purchases you made. So we're going to continue on a bit of a related note. Before this, we talked about cleaning materials and stuff like that, and renovating and sanitizing a new place that we be moving in. So anything within that kind of category, feel free to talk into that as a third point. So main highlight, frustration, and a relevant activity or event that has taken place. Of course, you scrap all that and just place a meme there if you want to do something funny. So look forward to that. This is, of course, Slice of Life in Real Life, RLSOL mixed together, authentic via reality. We have some domains of life that we take care of. Like life is a game. So we have finance, relationships, employment, your business, your house, all that kind of stuff, income tax, I don't know. And then we have on the left-hand side, self-improvement, introspection, content creation, all that kind of interesting stuff, virtual reality, AI, all that kind of interesting stuff that we're mixing together, and that creates this. Of course, this is also therefore a bit of a channel focus, and I should mention this more often, but it's like Graham's Slice of Real Life. I've been through certain events that lead me to feel like a grandfather at times, so I call it Graham's Slice of Life. So as I go through my daily things, just like how you may post away your three highlights, events, and stuff like that into the comments, I'm just sharing my highlights and events that have happened, or venting sometimes. So we're just kind of doing that. And so in this video, we'll be purchases. So slice of life, lessons for people with, maybe don't have a source of, I guess you could say family. So let's start off with food here. And I actually want to continue and say that there's some stuff I neglected to do on the previous video, but we are supposed to cover food. So what we have here on the very back is that we have this the wipes that I mentioned previously, okay? And there's a receipt behind it. I forgot to mention. I'll be covering this episode. But what's really important is that I should have showed you where this goes, because I can, in fact. So that's one thing I forgot, is that it is related to purchases. Fine. If I stand up, I have like a little packet here. It's like a drop leg. Slip it in just like that. Okay. And then the Velcro goes over, and I can just seal it like that. So useful window scraper. I'll be using this as I go over to tenants, so I'm bringing it with me. And that's where it belongs, right in the side pocket. Next thing we also have that was kind of cleaning related that I missed out in the previous video, but we can cover in this one because it's still related to purchases, and the overarching theme of the major theme here is more like just food in general. But we have Clorox disinfecting wipes, and it's also got more to do with like purchasing. So we're going to cover a lot of receipts in this video, so it's still relevant. But this is a Clorox disinfecting agent, kills 99.9% viruses. That's what I forgot to mention. Very important here on the Clorox in the previous one as well. Clorox here, 99.99% of viruses and bacteria. And then here is 99.9 of viruses and bacteria. So this one's less effective, I suppose you could say. They do use those values to a certain degree of certainty. But anyways, it says down here instructions. So it kills cold and flu viruses, kills staphylococcus, streptococcus, E. coli, salmonella, and listeria. 4x cleaning power. We have pathogen agents. So it tells you the amount of time that you need to sanitize, disinfect, to kill off certain microbes. So for sanitization of bacteria, 10 seconds. Contact time, disinfection of viruses, so 15 seconds. For disinfection of the Ebola virus, 20 seconds. And for disinfection of bacteria, rotavirus, fungi, it takes 4 minutes. Of course, fungus always takes the longest to disinfect. They are very, very resistant, antibiotic resistant and stuff like that. So that's this, and this cost about, I don't know, I think it was like $3 something, maybe $4. Caution, it's an irritant. There are hazards here you have to keep in mind. Obviously, don't get in your eyes. Don't eat this. I don't know why anyone would ingest this. Easy way to clean and disinfect. Use on hard, non-porous, non-food contact surfaces. So, and of course, you have all that kind of safety crap. So that's something that was purchased. I kind of missed on the previous video, but still related to this one because we're talking about purchases. So we're gonna do that. Place this down here on the floor, and I'm gonna take that over to the new residence, so it doesn't belong here. Now we're talking about food now. So in addition to the stuff we mentioned at the very beginning of the video, which we showed as a way to capture the thumbnail. By the way, interesting stuff here. We got a border here. We placed a border up and below. I don't know how it works. It's cutting off a little bit of the top of my head, but it's not a big deal. So at the same time that we made purchases for those stuff that we need to clean out our new housing unit, we also did some stuff here for, we also picked up food, obviously, So we have Powerade Zero, very standard. This is like welfare type food, guys. Like I'm literally, so 0 sugar and 700 mils. Okay. So it's like $1.50 after tax. It's really, really cheap. Very cheap, no sugar, good food. So then we have also, and I covered that before already, so that's why I can keep it so fast and efficient. We have these 2 packages, and I just bought these yesterday, but it's really just food that's like not healthy, but it's food that I can take with me. It's non-perishable. The most important part of non-perishables is just being able to bring it with you. Joe's Tasty Travels, all 3 of them. So we'll show the 3rd package. But this is like the cheddar cheese pretzel whatever. Or 200 grams, no, 150 grams. It's for $2. And it's got only 1 gram of fiber. This one is the worst, by far the least healthy. Per 50 grams, so it's like 5% fiber, maybe less. Oh no, it's like 2% fiber. Ew. And then 3 grams of sugar and 300 milligrams of sodium. This is by far the least, I think the least healthy. Yeah. So for example, this one is the flax seeds, the corn chips corn chips with flax seeds. And even though this one has a lot less saturated fat, these cheddar pretzels, there's only 1 gram of fat, saturated fat. This one has 2 grams, so it's like double, 11% instead of 5%. This is by far the greater choice because it has 5 grams of fiber instead of 1. So this is actually 10% fiber. That's 2% fiber in the whole package. Of course, not in terms of daily intake. Daily intake, 5 grams of fiber for the standard adult is about, it says here, 18%. So far healthier. Still got too much sodium, but whatever. Obviously, this will help you use the washroom. Good for your excretory system, for your digestive system. If you are experiencing any issues with using bowel movements, basically go in and taking a shit, man. Taking a dump. Okay, next one. Joe's Tasty Travels salted plantain chips. We have 140 grams. This one is also high on fiber, 4 grams of fiber, and it has it's per 50 grams. This one, the best, by far the healthiest of all, because this one has almost no sodium. It's got 35 milligrams of sodium per 50, and this is a 140 gram package. So we have these 3 packages of non-perishable foods. I want to mention very briefly, however, that of course a little shout out to the packets of McDonald's that I mentioned in the previous video that got spilt into the bag. We had to clean up with the Clorox wipes. There's syrup, there was salsa, there was like peanut butter that those are condiments. So I went to McDonald's and purchased some stuff as well. So I tried, for example, what did I have? It's like a A&W. There was like a chicken wrap with ranch and bacon. There was also McDonald's. I went to pick up I went to get like what was it? Can't remember. It was some sort of breakfast. It wasn't like a breakfast sandwich exactly, because it had tomatoes, lettuce, and cheese and stuff like that, right? So tomatoes, lettuce, and something else. But basically, it's more like a bagel belt than it was, bacon, eggs, lettuce, and then it was also a breakfast burger. So I don't know what to tell it. Anyways, it cost about $5, and that's when I got the salsa and the syrup, and that's what happened. So that's food related as well. Just thought I would mention that. And the purchase there was like, the burger was like $5.50 after tax, $5.65, 13% tax. And then the stuff here is just very cheap. Okay, also with McDonald's, you got that kind of like $1.50 iced coffee thing going on right now in the summer. Really, really nice. So that's I think everything that has to do with food I have with me, which is great because I don't want to cover more. Time to move to the receipts, right? This is the receipts portion of the video, and it's good because timing's up. Okay. So I want to mention here at the very back here, we have the 4 receipts here. And we're not going to cover any detail, but of course I can just say, for example, that one that I'm going to keep with the Clorox package is from Walmart. We have another here from Walmart. It says like $4.50. This one's a $16. This is a very expensive $1 purchase, and it contains the peanut bag, I don't know, Clorox wipes, cleaning puck, that's for the toilet bowl, painter's tool, and a window scraper. And then there's electrolyte beverage. Oh, that's probably Gatorade. I didn't mention that as well. And then there's also a McDonald's purchase here. So 2 baked apple pies. There we go. 1 large iced coffee for $1.50. Very, very cheap right now. It's that summer sale they always have, McDonald's. And 2 baked apple pies. So move this on the side here. And I'm just going to say, that kind of stuff. I'm going to, you know what? It's all right. And what we're going to do, we're going to maybe toss away this receipt. What I can do in the meantime also is use, if I need the receipts, because right now we're moving on to the portion. We're about to move out, guys. Not gonna lie. The next video is gonna be about that. So what I'm gonna say is that basically, there's a lot of stuff here that still has to move. There's so much stuff here. I only moved about 75% of my belongings, and there's still another 25%, another quarter left to go. Obviously the laptop and all the gear here, there's stuff for the setup, plus the bed, and so the seat that I'm sitting on, which is really actually quite a fitness bench. So there's still quite a bit of stuff to go, and gotta coordinate all that kind of stuff intelligently. Yeah, that's that. And then we have like these receipts here. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna take this, and the best thing I can do is just kind of wrap it up. I don't have a plastic bag right now, so we can wrap this up and then get ready to go, just like that. So afterwards, if we find a clear plastic bag, what we'll do is we'll just toss out the receipts. So we don't have to, what I was originally going to do, right? I was going to say, oh, these are receipts, let's cover all at once, put them on the side. But we don't have to do that anymore, guys, because we're going to clear it out in the next 5 episodes when we get to the receipts. So I just talked about it, right? So 1 Walmart purchase here for a yogurt pretzel and an orange. Oh, that's like a Terry's orange, I think. I don't know. $1. I don't know what that is. Oh, yogurt pretzels. That's a Joe Stacy Travel mix. So it's a Walmart purchase receipt. You can't read anything. That's why I can show you. The contrast is too high. We got Dollarama here. Electrolyte beverage. That's probably Gatorade. 6 purchases. 6 item purchase for $16.95. And then we have a McDonald's purchase for $3.66. This is a little bit of a prelude as to what we'll be doing for 1 or 2 or 3 videos where we cover all the receipts in a rapid fashion, rapid fire kind of thing. That's that. And I'm just gonna wrap this up here. The Clorox is quite sticky because of the maple syrup and the wipe itself being quite sticky. I'll toss this inside my luggage bag and then we'll be done. Before we get to that, one last thing that is also kind of paperwork related before we do. And so there was a lot of work. So speaking about scraps, right? There was a lot of work that we put into. So we're talking about garbage. So I think this is a good segue into garbage because this is related to garbage and related to a bit of housing and the reason why for housing. So inside here is some work, you could say. Some work here that I used to dedicate a lot towards to a certain somebody, to certain people, and helped her get a job, help her, teach her how to use Excel, how to get in shape, how to walk outside, how to socialize, how to make more of her life, how to, forgive herself and be forgiven and stuff like that, and live life meaningfully. And I mentioned this before already, so Anyways, it doesn't hurt anymore. It does, well, it's like a numbing kind of thing. It's numbed. But what I will say is, the tit for tat, I don't like to participate in that, but sometimes people just don't stop until you deliver an eye for an eye, and that's really sad. I think that's what society has gone to at this point, and it's certainly what has gotten to this. It's certainly what has happened in this household as well. Everyone's been participating in that since forever. I think it's just kind of, I suppose, normal behavior. People just, when someone harasses you, you harass them back. I've always taken the stance that I shouldn't do that. So I recognize that's not normal. It's my first step into that direction. It's probably a wrong direction. I don't know. I'm not doing very much. All I'm going to do is take away what I once gave. And I've never done this before. I've never gone out of my way to take away something that I've given someone already. I believe that's petty. I believe that's spiteful. But now it's not about spite. It's not about pettiness. It's just about what's effective. If this will get them to stop being assholes, which it won't, I don't think. But at the very least, for my peace of mind, I'm going to take away what I gave. So that's that. And I gave too much, so there's a lot I can take away. But I'm just going to take away something that I believe is appropriate. So that's something that I just wanted to mention there. It's very sad. I know that sounds like really tame. It's like, oh, that's not even retaliation. You're just taking away what you gave them. Yeah, but still, it's like if you really have your heart invested into someone and you really care about someone and you give them something because you want them to be the best of themselves, you don't take it away once they become a bad person, do you? I don't know. That's like punishing a little 5-year-old brat, which I know they behave like 5-year-old children, but even still, it's kind of like betraying your own principles. That's how it feels like for me. So anyways, that's probably the only thing I'll ever do in terms of that. It's the only thing I can do, I suppose, before I leave. I don't really want to do any further. I think, I want to keep things as clear cut as much as possible. So basically this is relevant because it's garbage and it's also related to moving. Basically in the next video we'll be talking about moving, so there's that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Just clear some garbage there, receipts and that piece of crap here, which is obviously confidential, but it contains something that is quite important. So that's that. And then there's food, there's purchases. We're done with that. And I think the next video, what we'll do is we're going to hop on over to tenant releasing and stuff like that. So we're going to cover a lot of official documents without any sort of extreme detail, but you can look forward to that because there's a lot about insurance and all that interesting, like useful, practical stuff that you're going to have to get involved in if you start getting your own place, if you don't have your place already, in which case it's kind of reminiscent. See you guys there. Peace out. Signing out. Again, thanks for tuning in. So here's appreciation. Thanks to my supporters, to the guys who show up. Please comment below. I know I'm not doing that myself yet. I should, but yeah. Highlights, venting, and memes or something relevant. Okay? Peace.